formerly known as Twitter, officially goes X-rated. Find out more on Uncensored with Brittni De La Mora. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to Uncensored with Brittni De La Mora, where I share culturally relevant topics, mostly pertaining to sexuality from a Christian perspective. If you are new here to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Do me a favor and subscribe to this channel and ring that bell so you won't miss any videos that I have coming your way. And if you could go ahead and like this video, share it on your platforms if you enjoy it. This is a brand new channel, so please help me to get the word out. And meet me in the comment section after every video. I like to chat with each and every one of you. Okay, so Twitter X, now called X, is officially X-rated. For the longest, people have been able to post whatever content they wanted because there were no rules against it. I thought Elon Musk taking over, he had the intention of tightening the rules, which is what I had read a while back, but apparently that is not the case. He is now permitting all, and I mean all, adult content. So not just nude photos, but you can be in sexually explicit acts can be posted on X now, as long as there is a warning. I see this as such a problem because when I was in the adult film industry, I left 12 years ago. Social media didn't allow this kind of stuff. We could post some somewhat raunchy photos as long as you had like a bikini on, but most of the performers were not willing to post sexually explicit photos because there was it was a boundary. There were rules. You would get your accounts deleted if you posted that type of content. Now, Instagram still doesn't allow that type of content. Meta does not allow that kind of content, but Elon Musk is pushing the rules. I have my own opinions on that. I think maybe the platform, in my opinion, is a dying platform. The only people that I see doing really well on X are political commentators and porn stars. I mean, maybe some athletes and so forth, but it to me it just kind of feels like a dying platform, and so perhaps that's why he's now allowing adult content. Who knows? Maybe he's gonna try to take it into like the new lonely fans, I'm not quite sure what his intentions are here. He says that in a statement that he made that he believes that adult content is an expression of an artistic expression, and we should be able to share that. Now, the reason why I see this being an issue is because there are children on the internet. And the only way that you will not see adult content is if you have marked your page that you don't want to see adult content, which you can do that in your settings. And I highly encourage every single person that wants to remain a part of this platform to do that. Make it so that you can't see adult content. Or if your birthday is that of which you're under 18, then you won't get shown that content. But this is the problem that I have with all adult content sites is that a 10-year-old can go on and mark that they are 18 years old. Like there's no requirement for proof of identification. I mean, you cannot go to a store and buy alcohol or cigarettes without an identification. You cannot go gamble in Las Vegas without proof of identification that you are 18 or 21 years old. I can't remember the age there, but here it's 18 to gamble in California. And you cannot do that without identification. So why is it that you can indulge in sexually explicit content without an identification? Like Elon Musk, you are now a part of this problem because you are now allowing it. And I just honestly, I think that the direction that the world is going in is like we as Christians, we really need to kind of push back on this. Not just kind of, but we really need to push back on this. There is a scripture that I was reading the other day. I'm actually editing a book for my husband, and he shared this verse, and I just thought, wow, this is a powerful scripture. Ecclesiastes 10:8. It says this: when you dig a well, you might fall in. When you demolish an old wall, you could be bitten by a snake. When you demolish an old wall, you can get bitten by a snake. What does that mean? It means the wall is a representation of your boundary. So whenever you have boundaries in place, your boundaries are meant to protect you. They're meant to guard your life. Well, in this world, what's happening is that the world is constantly pushing back, wanting you to demolish those boundaries. Why? So that you can get bit by a snake. Adult content is it's evil. I've been saying this lately, and we'll call it corn for the sake of the shadow ban and stuff, but like I am anti-corn, but I'm not anti-corn star, meaning I love the people that perform in the industry. I want to see them live their absolute best life. I want to see them free from this, but I am very anti-corn. That the adult industry is evil. It is demonic. It ruins manhood. It destroys families. It's ruining innocent lives of children all over the world because teenagers have access to corn. And, you know, I see with in the adult industry, they really push back on parents. Well, parents need to be doing their job and blah, 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 right? Like they put all the responsibility on the parents. And yes, I agree. Your children shouldn't have smartphones. They shouldn't have access. If they have to do a school project on a laptop, it should be, you know, in the living room or in the kitchen or somewhere without in an open space where everybody can see the child, right? Because you don't want to just like let them go into a room full of temptation on the internet. Like I agree with that. However, there are other parents that may not follow those same standards and they send their child to school with a cell phone. And now that child is on X looking at adult content, showing it to all their friends that have stricter guidelines in their households. And so it's not if nowadays your child is going to see corn, it is when, like they're just going to see it. And so that's where I also believe as parents, we need to really teach our children what to do when they see corn. I've had age appropriate conversations with my 4-year-old. I've told her, "Hey, if you ever see pictures, if anybody ever shows you pictures and somebody is wearing less than a bikini, less than you would see them wearing at the beach, you need to immediately turn around, don't look at it, and go tell an adult because that's not appropriate. We don't look at pictures or videos of people that have less than a bathing suit on. And even that's pushing it in our household. We don't do bikinis in our household. We follow modesty in our household. But that's what we teach our children because we don't want them to see these things. And so, yes, parents have a job to do, but I also believe that the internet is just running wild nowadays. And what's sad to me is that like I'm seeing from my friends that have children that are in high school and like their high school students have to do everything on a laptop nowadays. So here is what X is saying. They released this statement. It was actually in towards the end of May. And it said, you may share consensually produced and distributed adult nudity or sexual behavior, provided it's properly labeled and not prominently displayed. Okay, I already have an issue with that because I did a quick search on X just to try to easily find adult content because I wanted to see if they are actually practicing what they say they're going to practice. And there has been so much content that has been produced since they released this statement that is not blurred out. It's not giving any sort of warning. There is sexually explicit content all over X and it's not blurred out. But their statement, according to X, says that it has to be marked and blurred out. Well, I've seen a bunch of content getting posted that's not blurred out. It says this, we believe that users should be able to create, distribute, and consume material related to sexual themes as long as it is consensually produced and distributed. Sexual expression, whether visual or written, can be a legitimate form of artistic expression. And then it says, we balance this freedom by restricting exposure to adult content for children or adult users who choose not to see it. So, in order to choose not to see it, you need to update your settings. But how is this really protecting children? Elon Musk, are you asking for an identification card? Are you verifying? Is there facial recognition? Do you know that these children are actually like children? Do you know that every adult on your platform is an adult? Because how do you know? They can just put in their birthday and say, my name's Joe and I was born in 1967. Like, but really they were born in 2012. So how are you verifying this? That's my question. Because there's no verification. So we also prohibit content promoting exploitation, non consent, objectification, sexualization, or harm to minors and obscene behaviors. We also do not allow sharing adult content that's highly visible places such as profile photos or banners. When I did my search, I actually saw profile photos of women performing sexual acts on men. So it's not a regulated community. Like these things on Instagram would get deleted pretty quickly. But here on X, there's really no follow through. They're making these statements, but there is no follow through. They're not removing anything. They did say that if you report it, they will blur it out for the person if it goes against their regulations. But why would any person even mark their content as adult if there's no follow through? Like they're not going to get banned from X. I also heard of something that happened where there was an account that posted a 5-year-old child being sexually abused, and the account got banned for a moment just so the photos could be removed. And then the account was reinstated. Why? Why did you reinstate an account that was showing a 5-year-old being sexually exploited? It's just there's no follow through. It's basically like you can post whatever you want on X, and your account might get banned for a day just to remove the photo or just to put a blur over it, but you'll be fine after that. This is honestly one social media platform that I have the biggest issue with, and I have been contemplating just deleting my account. But I do like to follow some of my favorite political commentators on there, so I might just put my account on private and just remain inactive on there, and other than to read some of the statements from some of my favorite political commentators. But that's really the only reason why I'm on this. If you're going to remain on this platform for whatever reason, maybe you follow some of your favorite sports guys or political commentators, I would highly encourage you to make sure that you place all protection. It's like what the scripture said in Ecclesiastes, like, don't demolish your walls, don't demolish your boundaries, or you might get bit by a snake. So I just want to urge you to put up your boundaries and don't demolish them for any reason, because the enemy is out to steal, kill, and destroy. He is looking for an access point to get to bite you, to be able to attack your life. And so we as Christians need to really have strong convictions. We need to say, hey, I struggle with corn, so I'm going to put every boundary in play. I'm either going to just delete X, I'm going to delete social media, or I'm going to put very strong boundaries in play where all of this type of content will not be shown to me. And so you need to really set your boundaries, and you need to know what those are, and you need to keep them set, and don't let anything demolish them, because the enemy is out to get you. So anyways, that is what's going on X. I'm kind of mind blown. I'm just seeing the world just getting further and further into normalizing all of our sexual desires, normalizing everything. And so it'll be interesting to see what the world looks like over the next several years. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Please let me know what your thoughts are on X. And I will meet you in the comment section. I'll see you there. And thank you so much for tuning in to Uncensored with Brittni De La Mora. I'll see you in my next video.